on, spiritual family? It's your homegirl Ashley, your spiritual advisor, and you already know. Welcome back to the Empress Rose Tarot. You know how we get down over here. You already know what it is. Hey y'all, what's going on, y'all? I missed y'all. Y'all know, well, for those of y'all that don't know, homegirl was in the gym trying to get her body together. Been practicing this mind, body, and soul stuff, and really trying to, really focus on me, go inward and all that good spiritual stuff, as I like my sage. But yeah, that's all I've really been doing. And Spirit was like, Ashley, you got a mission. Your mission is not to just live in the gym. And so here we are. I gotta do a balancing act, because I really do gotta balance out my time in the gym and then my time trying to get on YouTube and touch some spirits, touch some souls and what have you. But anyway, nevertheless, y'all, I just wanted to come on here and do a healing read. Where I currently reside at, it's raining, and I thought that this would be a perfect time to, talk about, how can we heal the collective energy for the divine feminines and for the divine masculines, and even for the karmics. So I just wanted to, touch bases and whatnot, and, get into it. So everything you need to know will be in the description box below. Like, share, and subscribe to your homegirl's channel. Hit that notification bell so you can get the day-to-day up posts. And yeah, so y'all, let's get into it. So y'all, I had got me some new decks. Yes, ma'am. Y'all, I don't know whether if I'm probably not the only psychic reader or intuitive reader, if you will, that every time she get a new deck of cards, she get excited. I don't know what's that about. I guess that's just like a new hobby now. That's like a new hobby of some sort. I guess that's just a new thing. I know some other intuitive readers know what I'm talking about. Like, you get you a new deck of cards, you like, yes, I cannot wait for it to get in the mail. Like, oh my gosh. And then you kind of stare at it, and you also like, get a vibe off of it and stuff. So yeah, I get excited when my cards come in the deck. I mean, my cards come in the deck. That's a cool way of saying it. When my cards come in the deck. We'll start saying that. Anyway. Yeah, y'all. So that's all I've been doing. I haven't shied away from YouTube or nothing. But, sometimes you got to get, you got to chill on social media for a while and get back, to your basis, your functions of yourself. So you can, work on your inner self. And Spirit was like, well, as you got to work on yourself and work and help others, you can't just be sitting here marinating and all that good jazz. So y'all know I like to play with my camera. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I got to get that, I got to get that perfect angle. I got to get that perfect angle, child. I want everybody to see what I be saying when I be saying. Seeing what I be saying when I be saying. Hold on, y'all. So, yeah, I just thought that this would be a perfect time to, come on here and touch bases with y'all and let y'all know, y'all haven't been forgotten or anything like that. It's just homegirl has been, like, working diligently on herself, trying to get herself together and heal her energy and stuff. And yeah, okay, perfect angle. All right, cool. So, y'all, let's talk about the collective. The energy lately have been very, very, very transformative. It has went ups, downs, lefts, rights, and I feel like we coming from one end of the spectrum to the next, and we're doing it at a speed of light. And I feel like the more the earth is purging her energy and, purifying her energy, the more intense this energy is going to get for everybody. I know for me, I have been getting pressure on my pineal gland, and I have been getting these downloads, and you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who's feeling it up in here. And so it has been intense. for these past coming months, for not just for a few, but for all of us, because there's a transformative, point that we're all experiencing, and we all going through it at different, levels of our life. And it can be hard for some, you know. Everybody don't embrace change the same way, but you know, that's the beauty of being a human, that isn't it? So let's talk about the divine feminine as the collective energy. And then I'm going to double back, and then I'm going to talk about the collective. The karmic. So the divine feminine is a woman who is, on her spiritual journey, on her spiritual path. And it's like she's trying to get closer and closer to her truth, her inner truth. Okay. And she's really working on self. Really working on self. And I feel like it was just, conducive to come on here and, basically talk to everybody about how to heal around this time. We are in the Mercury retrograde. Yesterday was a new moon, y'all. So y'all know it's time to clear out the old and embrace the new. And yeah, it's gonna be intense for these next coming days, but no worries, we here. So spirit guides of love and light, angels of love and light from heaven, my ancestors, thank you for this opportunity. I ask that you come and protect my reading. Holy Spirit, I ask that you guide me and protect me and let my reading be as accurate as possible for those that need a confirmation or a word. Please give me the overall energy for the divine feminine. Give me 4 cards for the divine feminine, and where they currently are right now, and what do they need to work on to get to where they need to be. Alright, so I feel like the divine feminine is really standing in her power. She's standing in her power and she knows her worth. So right here we got a spiritual union. Beautiful. Okay. Tell me more. Well, give me the 4 cards. Alright, we got firm foundation here. Good. Good, we got 2 so we are talking about a spiritual foundation. The triumph card here. Okay, let me move some stuff over. Y'all know I got a lot of stuff going on. I need to change my table thing. Like, I've been having this for a while, and I still haven't changed my altar thing. Alright, so we got the heart chakra card here. So what I feel for the divine feminines, currently she is working on herself, and she is getting ready to actually go into a divine union. I feel that real heavenly. I feel like the divine feminines have been working diligently in self-love, self-worth, values, and they have been strengthening their foundations. That could be abundance, that could be whatever that they put their eyes on, and it's like they're standing in their power so strong that they're beaming this radiation of light. Oh, let me get my wand here. They beaming this radiation of light. I don't know whether if y'all can see this, but this moon card talks about the divine feminine here. We talking about inner work, inner powers, going within, finding her truth, finding her warrior, her inner goddessness, and not being ashamed for standing in her power. I do feel like a lot of divine feminines have been getting these downloads and these overloads. I say overloads because it's been a magnitude of just high downloads every day, to the point where it can be almost draining, like a computer, just download, just updating. But I feel like the divine feminine is close to going into this union with her divine masculine here. And I feel like that's just across the board. I feel like there has been some struggles internally coming from a lot of divine feminines that are aware, that are of higher consciousness, have struggled and went through a lot. But this was Spirit's way of building the foundation within the home. Let me bring y'all in a little bit closer. There we go. So the divine feminine have went through a lot of stuff to build her. It was called for her to build her structure. So is the divine masculine. But at this point, there is a triumph. They're headed to, a meeting of the hearts, if you will. It's a meeting of the hearts. But I'm gonna use these tarot cards here to clarify these oracles. Spirit, tell me about. Oh, look at this, beautiful, the Sun card. There will be some form of happiness, some blessings, because and we can see here, we see a lot of green, we see a lot of yellow, and I feel like Spirit is governing the divine feminine at this time while she's on her journey. It's almost like Spirit has heard your cries. Spirit knows what you've been through, and it's time to embrace a new beginning. It's time to embrace a new beginning. Look at this. The Hierophant, y'all. The Hierophant here. Oh, I'm going to put that over the firm foundation. So when we talk about the Hierophant, we know that the Hierophant is obviously the most spiritual card in the deck. It also talks about commitment. It also talks about, let me see here so I can get y'all to see, because I want y'all to see everything. Y'all know I like to play with my camera. Y'all know I like to play with my camera, so y'all can see everything. Okay. Just want y'all to see. Okay, so we got the Hierophant on top of the strong foundation. So I feel like the divine feminine have put in a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it's a meeting of the mind. I feel like because she's standing in her power, there is like this, galactic type of energy that has not been seen in a long time. And I feel like because she's on her journey, because she's combining her heart, mind, and spirit as one, it's like there's this burst of newness within her. And her divine masculine sees this, and he recognized this within her because he recognized it within himself. And so there can't help but be a change. I feel like because the divine feminine is, meeting, getting closer within her higher self, or combining the higher self with the soul, then I feel like that's like creating this new energy around her. And therefore her divine masculine is like, whether if he intuitively knows this or not, but he's like on the same path. He's mirroring everything that she feels. It's like she is like the leading in command. We got the Strength card here. We got the Strength card here. So the Strength card on top of the Triumph, what I told you. The divine feminine went through a lot of stuff to get to where she's at. And she suffered a lot of heartbreak. She suffered a lot of losses. Whatever her suffering is, it had to cultivate within her to make her strong and powerful. And so, when we're talking about her heart chakra, it's been damaged. She went through a lot. Judgment, what I told you. What I'm telling you. The Judgment here on top of the heart chakra card. What I'm conveying is that her soul had to go through a lot to grow in order for her to get to the sun, in order for her to understand that the power that she possesses in her is so big that she had to go through a series of like a spiritual workout. Like she had to go through a lot of stuff, to get to where she's at. And her soul that's the only way you're going to experience soul growth, if you go through, hard times, hard trials and tribulations. And there will be a reunion. After all of this, there will be a reunion, because there needs to be a reunion for the collective as a whole, because the earth, Mother Gaia, is expanding her consciousness. We are elevating from the 4D to the 5D, and the divine feminine has to take her place. She has to take power, because we've been in the energy of masculinity for so long that it has started to destroy the world. So as a whole, allowing the divine feminine to take over, that energy of love, that energy of nurturing, that energy of inner strength, inner power, inner wisdom, that energy of coming from because it has to come from a higher frequency, the divine feminine has to come through, or the divine goddess energy has to come through in order to change the old paradigms. And so if we're talking about it in human, speaking in terms of human ways, it has to start with the woman. It has to start with her. The woman is the teacher. Excuse me. The woman is the teacher. The woman is the beginning, because everything comes through her. Everything is birthed through her. So the divine feminine had to step into her place. She had to allow her soul to go through a series of things contractually. She had to allow her soul to go through things in order for her to be used as a catalyst to change the current frequency that we are in. And that's deep. That is deep. Right here we have the Emperor card. So this right here talks about the divine masculine. The divine masculine, as we know it, is going through a transitional period too, because he now needs to understand he got to stand in his power as a king in order to assist the divine feminine through her, through the calling. Look at, oh my word, look at this, y'all. Look at this, the Empress card. Beautiful. Y'all, I know y'all see these cards. We got the Emperor and the Empress together with the Six of Cups. I want y'all, I want to break this down to y'all. For those of y'all in the back that don't understand what I'm saying. In order for change, there has to be a catalyst. Spirit will use a catalyst in order to push two energies together in order to create a change. Now, we have been functioning on dysfunction. We've been functioning on hate, separation. We've been functioning on fear-like energy. And now it's time to rise above that and elevate ourselves. Elevate ourselves. You see her soul? Elevate ourselves into a higher consciousness. This has to happen in order to get us back to a place of true consciousness, Christ consciousness, or to get things back on track. It has to be a balance. And so Spirit, it has called the Empress, has called the divine feminine to stand in her power, so that the divine masculine can stand in his power. And then there can be a reunion, the meeting of the souls, in order to change the paradigm that we currently reside in. We can't function as humans in this paradigm. We cannot. And one reason why I say that is because as humans, we lack accountability for what we have done to the earth, or what's going on in the earth. We have killed, we have stealed, we have disrupted the ecosystem. We have took over, and that's all masculine energy. And now the earth must balance herself out. And in order for that to happen, there has to be a meeting of the souls. We have the King of Pentacles here. So this guy, and this is about the divine masculine, who, whether he knows it or not, but he's like the father of the earth, if you will. He has to, and again, we got this dog right here. So let's talk about it from an egocentric place. Then I'm going to talk about it in a spiritual sense. In the ego sense, we got a man that's about to work 10 times as hard to get his divine masculine back. His divine feminine back. And some of you guys might be in same-sex marriages. Might be the same. But whoever has the divine feminine energy, it does not matter the sex, at the end of the day, the divine masculine is going to work 10 times hard into getting back the divine feminine, because he knows he cannot survive without his divine feminine. She is earth. She is mother of all. She is understanding. She is nurturing. Everything that she touches has to come to life, because she understands and respects her life. And so in order for him, because the divine masculine he don't sit, he do. That's what he does. He plans strategically, and he execute. So at this point, let's talk about what do the divine feminine need to do as far as in healing herself. What does she need to do to heal herself? Fertility. Some of you guys, when you do get with your divine masculine, in this spiritual journey, some of you guys you're gonna bear a child. We got the waiting game. So there is a sense of separation. There is a separation, but the separation is for a reason. The obstacles and challenges card. There is a separation between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. This is what we know. We know that this is it. It has been some mental conflict for the divine feminine, because a lot of divine feminines don't really know what's going on. And we got the recognition and rewards card. So there you got a lot of 2s, and you got 2 3s here, and then you got a 5. So there will be a major change in this energy. So let's talk about why Spirit allowed the separation, and why is this separation good for you. Right here we got the 8 of Wands. So there will be a sense of communication. I'm not talking about in terms of love here, but I'm speaking from a higher frequency. Like, what is the bigger picture? What is the reason for all of this? Let's talk about the fertility card. Spirit, tell me about the fertility card. And I'm going to talk about those 8 of Wands. Okay, so we got the Page of Wands here. Okay. What is the mental conflict card for? Look at this. Ace of Swords. Okay. Then we got the Hangman for the waiting. Okay, what is this recognition and rewards card? The Moon card. Beautiful. The Moon card. Okay. And then, Spirit, should I leave that 8 of Wands? Yeah, okay. I'm going to leave that 8 of Wands on top of that. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about the first one out the gate. We got the Page of Wands on top of the fertility card. Why is the Page of Wands on top of the fertility card? Well, I feel that the divine feminines on this life journey is meant to link up with the divine masculine in order for a new birth to happen. There has to be a birth. There has to be whatever that birth is. I feel like most importantly is going to be some children that's going to be born in this reunion, because Spirit has to, it's like in order for it to change, in order to clear out the old energies, we have to bring in the new energies. And so there are some things that's going on in the background that has to happen in order for, a change to happen. I feel like when it comes to this Page of Wands, it's like a youth-like energy. It's like a playfulness. I feel like, but for most importantly, I feel like this childlike energy that is like surrounding this whole thing. I know that sounds so weird, but it's like I just feel like Spirit is in a sense, Spirit is like creating these things that's going on in order for, it's like catalyst that's like lined up behind each other, that is like pushing 2 energies together like this. And so when we're talking about the ego wise, and when we talk about the Page of Wands, this young lady right here is having fun. She's embracing life. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not really concerned. She's just skipping along and throwing these wands up. But I just think that this is the divine feminine birthing, or being a new, it's like elevating from there's levels to it. There's levels to everything. And I feel like she's leveling up. And she's not taking life so serious. She's in a positive energy. And it's like she's embracing that positive energy every day. It's not like as serious. Then we got the mental conflict. I feel like, and the reason why the Ace of Swords here is on top of the mental conflict, because there has been some type of a mental conflict where, you know, what is the plan? What is the purpose? What am I doing? What am I here? What am I here for? And I feel like the divine feminine at this time really need to self-reflect and to catapult her into this energy of, you know, not worrying, living carefree, but in a happy, spiritual, conducive way, and, you know, just standing in her power, and, you know, just doing a lot of healing. And when you do a lot of healing, Spirit is like, I want you to enjoy life. I don't want you to feel bogged down by life, you know, because we are meant to live. You know, we are meant to embrace life, not be slaved to it. So I feel like the divine feminine need to come out of her mind. Stop being bogged down by your thoughts. Don't let your thoughts get so far away from you that you are just this negative Nancy. You know what I mean? Like you need to be intuitive. You need to come from your spirit, from your gut versus your head. You know, even though there is some heart over, you did experience a lot of heart over, mind over heart situations. But in this case, I think this is strengthening your intuition. And then we got the Hangman on top of the waiting period. So yeah, it has been waiting period. I do feel like Spirit has left you, not left you completely, but I feel like the universe had to, like, you know, leave you hanging in a way in order for you to get a different perspective. You wouldn't realize what's going on until you actually had to have like a hanging period. You had to literally look at it from a different perspective. And not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had to get a different view of how the world is. So I feel like, you know, that you're changing your perspective in this waiting period from your divine masculine. And then we got the Moon card on top of the Recognitions card. And when I tell you what I feel, intuitively, I feel like you are developing your sense of intuitiveness. You are becoming more aware. And like I said, y'all having lots of downloads back to back to back to back. We're all having these downloads. And I feel like Spirit is preparing you to learn how to balance yourself from your higher self. And so you can understand, you know, how to flow through life efficiently. Then we got, it's been a challenge with communication. A lot of divine feminines want to talk to her divine masculine and say, hey, can you please wake up, please? We have a soul contract. We have a mission. And you over here doing this, whatever the word you call yourself doing. And it's like, can you get up, please? Like, okay, like, hello, can you get up? Like, we got shit to do. And you sitting over here, you know, worried about stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you. But I do feel like there is going to be a change of communication. I feel like there's going to be quick communication because there is a dynamic duo that's on the merge. And I'm not even going to lie, the dark forces don't like that. They don't want you to have no team. What I told you, communication. Communication, analyze. Let your mind tell you how to, you know, how to feel, basically. And again, I'm going to put that right on top of that Ace of Swords. I feel like as far as like communication go, there will be a communication. Divine feminines, you're going to get a lot of downloads. And you have to prepare yourself because intuitively you're going to get these messages and knowing how to move in your life. You're going to know how to move accordingly in your life. Uh-oh. We got, as you did in the past, your home, base, or your family. What makes you feel secure in the 4th house. So this card talks about, you know, what has happened in the past. A lot of y'all just got to heal from that. some divine feminines are really stuck on what has happened. They stuck in the struggle or the residue of what has occurred. And it's like, you know, your home base or your family, like what do you want? Like, as far as in your future go, in order for you, you're either gonna be on the path of spirit or you're gonna take a different path. And I feel like those of you that is still trapped in the hurt from the residue of past energy, you are really shooting yourself in the foot. You are shooting yourself in the foot. And I understand on the ego way where you're saying, well, my divine masculine, you know, he left me and he did this and that and the other. But you have to learn how to forgive. You have to elevate yourself spiritually. Because if you will not participate, you know, all it's going to do is lower you. And you're going to go from the divine feminine to a karmic. And so don't end up putting yourself back 10 spaces because of some old energy. You have to elevate yourself. You have to grow, because if you don't grow, your divine masculine won't grow either. Like, he's mirroring you. We have the extraordinary, the highest and the lowest aspects of control the situation in Scorpio. What I just said. If you keep holding on, divine feminine, to old energy, to old hurt, to old whatever, if you keep holding on to that energy, you're going to miss the bus. You're missing the bigger picture. This is not just all about you. Okay? Because if you stay in that low energy of he hurt me, he did this, he did that, in the victim mentality, all you're doing is putting yourself 10 spaces back. And you can't heal. You can't heal. How are you going to help others heal and you holding on to old stuff? We can't hold on to old stuff. You have to learn how to let go. Let go and allow spirit to do. Because that's what spirit's gonna do. That's what your angels are for. That is what your spirit guides are for. They are there to help guide you, to help you ascend to a higher frequency. You can't do that. You holding on to old stuff. You holding on to past hurt because somebody did you wrong. I mean, and you're definitely not gonna get into this reunion with your divine masculine and you holding on to old stuff. That's definitely not gonna work out for you. So, divine feminines, work on healing yourself, letting go of the past, elevating yourself to a higher consciousness every day so you can put yourself in a better spiritual position. Because you are the change. You are the change that you seek. I'm just telling you. You know, people don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. You are the change that you seek. All right, so let's talk about the divine masculine here. Let's talk about the divine masculine. I pulled out Mars, but I also wanted to pull out the Pluto card. And, you know, because I feel like the divine masculine is feeling like he's alone. You know, he's unsure of himself. And it's just because he's still wrapped up into this old karmic energy that he's trying to pull himself out of. And then we're going to talk about the karmic energy. We're going to talk about, you know, what's holding him back from elevating. Just as much as we did with the divine feminine. So spirit guides, give me some cards that speaks about, I feel the divine masculine does not want to change. He does not want to embrace change. He's comfortable. We got victory and success card here. 4 cards that talks about where is he now. So I feel like the divine masculine just doesn't want to change. He's comfortable in how things are going. Little do he know, we are called to rise in consciousness. Wisdom. Okay, good. Good. We got 6 and 5. You see how these cards are meeting synchronicities? 2, 3, 4, and 5. 6, 5, 7. We got another 5. Patience. And if you're separated from your divine masculine, oh, beautiful universe. If you're separated from your divine masculine, I want you to know he's going through it just as much as you're going through, baby. You're not alone. Okay? If he felt like he had to walk away from you, it's a reason why he walked away from you. So I'm called to get a whole nother different deck here. Gotta get my witch's deck. Because I feel like the divine masculine is definitely going through a crucial life transitioning time, and he feels he may not understand what's going on because he's operating in a sense of fear. I feel like the divine masculine is like operating in a sense of fear, and he has to stand in his power. I feel like he's like afraid to take over as a leader in this divine union, or just in general. I feel like the divine masculine is petrified because he's a go-getter by nature. He wants to work hard, he wants to provide, he wants to do all these things, but at the same time, what happens when you're not given the tools? And a lot of people aren't given the tools to function, to be some people aren't natural born leaders. And it scares the bejesus out of him because he has to do it in a spiritual sense. He can't operate how he used to from he can't operate like he used to from a sense of, the ego. Like, oh, if I just do this, I have to do that. Like, he literally has to do spiritual work that's unbeknownst to him, never experienced before in his life. It's treading new territory. And he has a divine feminine that he knows. He knows that this is part of the greater galactic plan, and he knows this intuitively because your divine masculine, he dreams of this stuff, but it scares him. So he has a choice too. Do he just live out in his fear, or do he elevate himself and stand in his power? Let's talk about this victory and success card, spirit guides. Okay, so he's currently working on walking away from something that no longer serves him. He's actually building up. He's building up. We got the Ace of Wands here. So he's building up the strength to walk away from people, places, or things that is no longer serving him anymore. And he's walking this path of victory. Because he knows that he cannot function on what he can't function on stupid anymore. He can't function on stupid. Right here we got the Seven of Swords. He cannot live a lie. He cannot live in his mask. He has to apply the wisdom that he went through karmically. What is this patient card here for? Spirit is calling him to have patience in his movements because this is preparing him within himself. And it's so funny that I said that Spirit is telling him to take his time, because right here we got the Pentacles card. We got the Knight of Pentacles, and we know the Knight of Pentacles take his precious time. So it's a call. If you're wondering why your divine masculine is moving at a snail pace or dragging his feet, it's because this is building up his character within him. This is elevating his higher consciousness, because you have to understand something. Everybody elevate and level up spiritually in different time frames of their life. So just imagine you well off in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, and now you're called to elevate yourself spiritually. And then all of a sudden, everything you want to do, excuse me, y'all, everything you once knew, you don't know no more. Everything is built on a lie. Everything was made as an illusion. And now you're transforming. He's transforming. He's slowly but surely transforming. So if you're wondering why your divine masculine is taking his precious time and dragging his feet, this is why he's dragging his feet. Because he has to walk in unknown territories. The Hermit card, what I told you. He's like, maybe you probably dealing with somebody who's a Virgo, or you probably dealing with somebody who's just a loner. At one point he was calling you and texting you and this, that, and the other. Next minute you don't know what's going on. And I'm telling you, the reason why he has eased up is because excuse me, y'all, I'm sorry. He's transitioning from what was to what is now. And it can be a large pill to swallow when you walking away from karmic stuff and you on this new beginning and you don't know which way to go. You don't know what is and from what ain't right and what is and what's the truth. Right here we got the financial material changes. Yeah, so we got a lot of fives here. your divine masculine or the divine masculine is currently going through a transitional period in his life. There's a death of the ego. He understands that he has to make changes in his life, that he can no longer function. Okay, and give me the cards of what he needs to work on. He needs to balance out himself. He needs to ground his energy. He needs to ground his energy, because there is a sense of that he wants to go, he wants to move around, he wants to make quick changes, but spirit is like halting him from making those quick changes, because he has to get the lesson. He has to understand memories of love. He thinks about you, divine feminine. He thinks about you. He dreams about you. He prays for you. He cries over you. He wishes for you. He does, if you are in separation, with the majority of us are, if you're in separation from your divine masculine, look at this. Rest and rejuvenate. Spirit does not want him to just move as of yet, because he has to get the lesson. He has to understand. Look at this. Bottom of the deck, partnership. Don't worry, divine feminines, because this is all part of divine plan. He had, the longer absence makes the heart grow fonder. The longer he's away from you, the more he's sitting there missing you. The more that is giving him the fire that he needs in order to move the way spirit needs him to move. It's almost like, okay, divine masculine, since you're dragging your feet, I'm gonna take everything that is good out of your life until you get your lesson. Because you gotta dance on the devil's head. You cannot function this way like you've been functioning. You cannot substitute sex, drugs, and whatever else to distract you. You have to look at yourself, because there's a higher purpose and a higher plan. I have to, the way spirit is set up, spirit is feeling like the way Mother Gaia is, which is earth, is purging herself. And so this is for a greater plan. And I need y'all to come together and work together as a team. I can't do that if you sitting over here, doing what you want to do. Again, there has to be a balance of give and take. I feel like the divine masculine has went through a series of not having enough, feeling lack, not being able to do as much. And, he has little to offer. And I think what bothers him the most is because he's such a go-getter, he's such a doer, and he wants to take care of everybody, because that's in his nature as a divine masculine, that right now he's trying to figure out how to change his material situation so where he can help bless those, so he can be a blessing to those. Yeah, we got the World card here. There is a closing of a cycle that he's currently going through, and there is a strength that is behind it. He's doing all this for you, divine feminine. He's doing all, whether he tells you or not, he's doing all this for the divine feminine. He knows that it's not about money, but he is something in him that's driving him to go hard. Because he's trying to step into his power as the emperor, and the emperor got everything. The emperor gonna make sure that you got everything. And in order for you to make sure that you got everything, I need to go off and to take care of my financial situation. And he's listening, and he's actually listening to spirit. At a certain point, the divine masculines wasn't even listening to the spirit. At a certain point, he was ignoring it. But what the divine masculine needs to do at this time, focus on self, ground his energy, stay positive, stay optimistic, stay focused, because there is a blessing at the end of the day. There is a blessing at the end of the day. Look at this. What I told you. Seeing oneness with all there is. Philanthropy. Keep your involvement hidden. He's not telling you everything. And the only reason why he's not telling you everything is because he needs you to trust in the process. It's so funny, because the divine masculine is trusting you're his inspiration. He's listening to spirit. He's focused. And he doesn't want to tell you everything, because there's a part of him that feels like you need to trust. If I can trust spirit, you need to trust spirit. You know, if you trust in God, you need to trust in. If I trust in God, you need to trust in God. Self-confidence to create. Taking a chance on, resorting from impressiveness of in Leo. This could be talking about a Leo here, but we talking about strictly divine masculine here. The divine masculine need to ground their energy, because a lot of them are scattered everywhere. Some are, but they need to ground their energy, because there's gonna be a time that is coming up at the speed of light for a risk. The divine masculine must take a risk, and he's gonna need all the energy he can get, because the way his karmic been set up, in order for him to move fluently, he's gonna have to move strategically, and in that strategicness, he's got to take a chance, whether he knows this or not. But the divine masculine cannot function in the low level frequency. He just can't anymore. It won't work. It won't work. He has to elevate his consciousness. We have to elevate our consciousness. We can no longer stay on the level that we've been. Be realistic about. Be concerned about. You must wait before you can. What I told y'all, it's a lot of stillness cards. Spirit is telling you, divine masculine, that you need to take your time, ground your energy, because there's going to be a time where you got to make a decision. You cannot no longer stick your head in the dirt and just think that, oh, well, things are just going to work out. Yeah, things are going to work out. But at the same time, you have to balance out your energy as well. You can't be more of one thing and less than another. There has to be an equal give and take between the two energies. So I feel like the divine masculine is currently at a standstill or at a halt before he make any moves, because he gotta really take in this lesson so he won't repeat. The divine feminine and divine masculines, at a certain point in the beginning of time, they made a mistake. They started to allow the evilness to embed in their hearts, and so they started to think that, oh, I'm here for self. No, you are not here for self. You are here for others. And you are here for others, to be an example setter for others. And so I feel like that mistake was, to a certain degree, when the divine feminine and divine masculine got together, it was like a power surge, a powerhouse. And then nothing got accomplished. It was like a big ass setback. So Spirit, in order to change that, Spirit had to separate the two energies in order for them to learn their lesson, go through different aspects of self, meeting of the minds with different energies, karmics, which is the topic I'm about to touch on right now. Had to go to different karmics. Karmic energy. Karmic energy is dark energy, low level energy. We're talking about fear, manipulation, lying, deceitfulness, cheating, you name it. They had to go through it. You had to go through different karmic situations, jobs, school, whatever, dealing with karmic people, parents, dealing with karmic parents. You had to go through that in order to lift, like in order to change your perspective, because the divine masculine is stuck in and he has some fear as well. He has a lot of fears, because like I said, he's stuck on, the energy of the divine feminine is stuck on the past energy and what has occurred to her, as far as in the divine masculine. And the divine masculine, he's stuck on the fear of not feeling good enough or not being able to. And he has to build himself up in order to take a risk, to change the paradigm of where we at right now. And so a long time ago, when the divine feminine and divine masculine was once together and they was a powerhouse, the darkness had embedded their hearts. And so it just created this big old mess. And now we have the opportunity to do this all over again. All over again. What are we going to do? Are we going to choose to walk the path of the darkness? The karmic path? Or are we going to elevate ourselves in consciousness so we can be more spiritual beings? So we can love and connect with one another as God has intended, or whatever your spiritual belief has intended to happen. So let's talk about this karmic energy. Karmic people, they mean well, they just don't know no better. Their sole purpose of being here is to help you elevate yourself. Being in a karmic relationship is just a mirroring of to what you need to work on. That's it. And for whatever, when you get to a place in spirit where you elevate yourself consciousness wise, when you expand your consciousness, the karmic no longer serves its purpose in your life anymore, because you are aware, you are awoke to what's going on and what you need to work on. The problem is what happens when you are aware of what's going on and you still choose to stick with the karmic because it's out of comfortability. Well, I'm going to tell you what happens. You get more karma. You get more karma to work through. You know, like you don't get the blessings that the universe have for you being stuck on stupid. So let's talk about the karmic energy, spirit guides. So the divine masculines out there who is with the karmic, and even if you are a divine feminine with the karmic partner, you have a decision to make. We got the movement, choices, and decisions. You got a decision to make with this. Accelerated movement. It doesn't matter, like I always say, it don't matter how you cut the deck. It's 52 cards still in that box. It don't matter how you cut the deck. So at the end of the day, I really want to be very clear and very transparent when I say this. It does not matter how long you've been in a karmic situation, whether if it's a job, whether if it's dealing with things. We got the new beginning card here. It does not matter how you choose to look at it. There's going to be a change regardless. It don't matter. You take the long route, the short route. Got the Passion Ignited card here. You can take whatever route you choose. But I'm telling you now, there's going to be change. And it's up to you how you want to embrace the change. Because the earth has been spinning on the axis for a long time. And it's been spinning on the same frequency. And now the frequency has to change. So whether if you dealing with a karmic person, the karmic energy is coming to a close. The moment you become aware of yourself, of your energy, of what's going on around you, that's when the change of the domino effect starts to happen. So it don't matter how you cut the deck. It really don't matter how you cut the deck. There's 52 cards in the deck. So for those of you that's in these karmic relationships, at this karmic job, got a karmic parent or whatever, out of fear, you choose to stay there, it's crumbling. And it has to crumble. You're going to realize that you have to stand in the power of self. You're going to understand self-clarity is what's going to be needed for your next transitioning phase in your life while you are alive here on planet Earth. A lot of people's going to get it and a lot of people's going to miss the bus. For those of y'all in the back that's missing it, that's fine. Don't worry. You'll be back here again to repeat that same lesson. No stone becomes unturned. No stone is going to get left unturned. We got the Four of Pentacles here and on top of the movement. So, like I said, some people are just stubborn. They don't want to change. They don't want to make the decision. And let's talk about the karmic, because that's what we're talking about. The karmic energy I'm getting is a woman or a man who is stuck. Now, they know they got a spiritual path to take, because you got to come out of the karmic energy. You can't stay there. And the karmic energy is so stuck on self. So stuck on me, myself, and I. The karmic energy know that the decision that the universe is making, you got to go through your own transitioning period. You can't be stuck on stupid no more. The Four of Swords. the Four of Swords here. So the karmic energies, whether man or women, know that the time is up. The time is up. The time is up. You've done your work. You've done what you're supposed to do. You was called here to make life on earth a living hell for people. And a lot of karmics, they're trying to find their way out. They're trying to get some healing. They're trying to get some restoration. They're trying to understand why they are like that. I feel like a lot of karmics are depressed. Maybe even bipolar. Maybe even have some mental issues. A lot of karmics are really going through a dark night of the soul and been going through it for a very long time. They're depressed because they know that life as they know it is changing. And life does not no longer function around them. They want a new beginning. The Sun card. Some karmics are trying to figure out how they can get a new beginning, a new life, what brings them passion. But little do they know, the ego is what's keeping them there at a standstill. What is this Passion Ignited card? If they free themselves, so right here we got the King of Wands. Again, we got this ego energy. I want happiness. I want blessings. I want this. I want that. I want healing. Well, how you going to get that if you refuse to look inside yourself? If you lay it up in bed late at night, knowing good and goddamn well you miserable as hell, but instead of you taking accountability, which is what the karmics don't do, we just want to point the finger. But Spirit is saying, I need you to move around too, because there is healing that has to happen within you. Material harvest. The karmics are more focused on their abundance, than they're only focused on solely on self. Some of these karmics are in the relationship with the divine masculine or divine feminine, and it's a business-based relationship. There is no love. There is nothing more than a business-based relationship. And so I feel like a lot of karmics are trying to figure out how they can hold on to their divine feminine and divine masculines. Right here we got the base chakra card here. So I feel like there's a lot of lust. There is a lot of imbalanced energy. And I feel like it does not matter how you cut that deck. There is change brewing. And so the karmics here are trying everything in their power to hold on to what they know. Some are plotting and planning. Some are actually trying to take accountability in the right steps in the right direction. And others, they're trying to hold on to dear life for their partner, because they know they know that they're the ones that they're getting the abundance, or they're feeding the divine masculine or feminine is feeding into the karmic's bullshit. But Spirit is for to intervene. Spirit has intervened. There are no more free rides. You might as well enjoy this last ride at the park. Awareness. The karmic know this. The karmic know this shit is getting shut down. The karmic know it's over. It's over. It ain't no coming back. So you might as well, if you feeling like, well, let me go ahead and get all I can, cause I know they're about to leave. You sure right, they done already left the building. Spiritually, emotionally, they done left the building. They done left the building, because now it's time for you to do the work. And the karmics know this. They know this because they trying to figure out, well, why life ain't going the way they want it to go. Look at this. Queen of Cups in reverse. Oh, why you ain't get why your divine partner? Why you being the karmic and why your divine partner? Yeah, they turn their back on you. Ain't no love. Ain't no emotion. Ain't none. I don't love you. I'm out. And they plan didn't work. They plan did not work. They plan did not work. Let's talk about this awareness card, Spirit. Divine intervention. Look at this. Temperance. This is no more than Spirit saying, that's it. That's it. That's it, baby. Karmics, it's time for you to grow up. It's time to stop with the bull. It's time to let it go. You can't control your manipulation, your toxic ways, all of this stuff. It ain't working, Captain. It ain't working, Captain. I don't care what you tell. I don't care what you tell your karmic. Your divine partner. I don't care what you think your plan is not going to work. You got to go within. Just as much as the divine feminine is putting in the work and glowing, you got to go. And let's be clear. Let's be clear. Your road is long. I ain't even going to cap. Two of Pentacles. The karmics know the karmics know. Communication cut off. Cut off. Ain't no communication. Ain't none. Ain't none. Look at this card. The High Priestess. You know. You know. You know what time it is. I'm not trying to be funny, but look at this. Five of Pentacles. You know it's time. Some of you guys are trying to run to the hills because you don't want no spiritual smoke, but you're going to get this spiritual smoke, karmics. It's time. You know your time is short. And I'm not talking about death as in like you about to die, but I'm saying your time for your BS has been short. It's cut off. It's all on you. You cannot no longer hang on the divine partner, divine feminine, divine masculine's coattail. Because spirit has pushed them in another direction. Some people are going to be depressed. Some people are going to be suicidal. And some might just kill themselves. And I don't want nobody to kill themselves. And this is not a doomsday reading, but I'm being completely honest. Some people don't know how to go within, and they're just so fearful to really be independent. Because you've been riding on people's coattail. And spirit allowed you to do that. But at the end of the day, we all got a choice. You didn't necessarily have to be a manipulator and a user and a liar and deceitfulness and do all that. You didn't have to. You chose that path. And because you chose it, now you must accept the consequences. And the thing is, the karmics are so terrified. They are so terrified because they know the ending is near. A lot of y'all are getting divorces. A lot of y'all are going to lose your jobs. A lot of y'all got to live with your parents. A lot of y'all ain't going to have nowhere to live. Depending on how much bad karma you put out there, if you honestly thinking, whatever you put out there in the universe is what you're going to get back, my baby. So if you've been a negative Nancy and you've been toxic as hell, what you think about to happen? You couldn't possibly think you about to get... No, spirit is cutting you off. Spirit is cutting you off. And y'all are going to have to go within. And it's going to be a long time. A long time coming. So, my suggestion to the karmics, you better start now. You lying, talking about you pregnant, knowing you was not pregnant just so you can keep that man around because he was taking care of you, ain't going to work no more. You was using your children as a pawn to keep that man around. It's not going to work no more. That man was talking to multiple people and he thought he could keep you. That ain't going to work no more. The divine feminine has found her worth. Some of these karmics ain't going to have no choice but to end up talking to a karmic. That's all you're going to deal with. Because the divine beings, those who choose the path of righteousness and choose the path of elevating and expanding their consciousness, like is going to be with like. There needs to be order. There has been an imbalance. And so now, the way spirit is setting things up, like is going to get with like. We on our last moon. And I ain't talking about last moon of the year. I'm talking about we on our last moon until the chapter closes. This book is closed. This book is closed. I don't know whether y'all know this or not, but the book is closed. So for the karmics out there, this right here is your future. The fire, you're gonna be cut off. You don't get no milk and no honey. You don't get no milk and no honey for the things you've done. You just don't. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Nobody's karmics is gonna end up with karmics. Period. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot this. Let me put this back up here. I apologize. Karmics ain't gonna get with no, divine beings no more. That shit is dead and gone. Tell me what the karmics need to work on, spirit. It's dead and gone. It's null and void. The life as you know it is dead and gone. And the thing is, the cold part is, you know. Look at this. Spiritual values. Long range thinking or travel. What is to be shaped? That is your spiritual journey, karmics. This is now you got to figure out, how do I get from being a karmic to a spiritual being? Because this whole time you've been living in ego land. You thinking, oh, well, I got it made and then this is going to, no. See, you've been cheating. And spirit been letting you get away with it with the hopes of there could be some change. But now it's over and done. It's over and done. We ain't even on that energy no more. The power of love, investment, gambles, and other games, your creations. The karmics need to, they're going to have to change their whole perspective, like everybody else. And their perspective of love is like, you have to understand that manipulation is not your power. That's not the power of love, to manipulate others and using it as a tool to keep, keep where to get what you want from others, and using it as a tool for your benefits. Them days are dead and gone, sis, sir. Them days are dead and gone. Now you gotta find another sense of self. Because you can't no longer find the sense of self in others. You can't use the sense of self of others. Have faith in. Don't worry about it. Now is the time to North Node. Now it's time for you. Now it's time for you. See, a lot of karmics have been holding on to their divine counterparts because they are afraid to do the work themselves. They've been so complacent and so comfortable with somebody doing for them, somebody thinking for them. And then when things don't go your way, you want to go act the fool. But now them days are dead and gone. Now you gotta be accountable for yourself. And there is no need, and spirit is saying in a loving way, there is no need for you to worry, because the same tools that your divine counterpart got is the same tools you have. So when your divine counterpart checks up out that whole situation, guess what's gonna happen? Guess what's gonna happen? You only gonna have you. And you gotta fend for self, and that's not a bad thing. There's no need to worry. What are you worried about? Could it be because you don't really want to deal with yourself? Because there's a sense of guilt underneath all that layer? Insights to understand the wisdom resulting from the understandings of Sagittarius. So again, this is about you having to go within. You got to go within. You can no longer sit up here. You got to take accountability over your life, karmics. And spirit is going to give you a lesson of a lifetime. Because now, instead of you changing for the better, you decided that you're going to come up in here and you just gonna do life the way you want to do it. Okay. Well, now you gotta pay. Now you gotta pay for that. And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news and be like, oh, well, you got to pay for that now. Now you going to suffer. But I'm just saying, now it would be a good time for you to work on, being a better person. Because if you're not focused on and you got a long journey, I ain't even going to lie. You got a long journey ahead of you. You got a long journey because now Spirit ain't even for to give you the people. Because you've taken advantage of people and places and things. And now you got to do all this by yourself. The difference between karmics, and we're all connected, by the way. We're all connected. We all one. But what I'm saying is the difference between the divine feminine and divine the divine feminists and the karmics is the fact that the karmics choose a different dark path. Because they still want this, it's me, it's all about me, and it's all about how things work for me. And the divine feminine is like, no, it's all about everybody else. It's about working together for a sense of everybody else. And so that whole me shit is dead and gone. There's nothing you could possibly do with you focusing on yourself. And a lot of karmics is not going to be able to deal with that. Because a lot of karmics are codependent. Do you know how much spiritual strength it takes to do things by yourself? You know how much spiritual strength it takes to have self-clarity? I feel for the karmics. I'm going to pray for the karmics out there. Seriously. Because they're going to need it. Because when that door shut, and it's just you, and now all you got is you to depend on. You can't even go to certain people, places, and things. You can't go to nowhere. All you got is yourself. And you got to figure out how to get out that hole. That's a deep hole to get up out of. When ain't nobody throwing you no rope and no ladders. Because the divine feminine had to get... And we all started from karmics. Let me be clear. We all started from a karmic energy. Some people chose to do better. Collectively, fulfillment of wishes. It's a lot of cards here. I'm going to take what resonates. We got the material harvest. We got the solitude card here. Look, oh my God. Y'all. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see this? Do y'all see this? Hold on, let me get my camera a little bit closer to y'all. I don't think y'all see that. Let me turn it this way so y'all can see. Do y'all see this? 999. 33, 33, 333, 333, 333. Y'all can't tell me. Collectively, this is where we at. This is what we embarking on. The solitude card is about having inner wisdom. Seeking inner spiritual wisdom and guidance. Those of you guys that's worried about struggling, you will never see the struggle. I mean, yeah, you'll have some trials and tribulations, but at the end of the day, you ain't gonna struggle like you used to. And that is beautiful. That is beautiful. I thank you, universe. I thank you, spirit. I thank you, angels. Look at this, y'all. 10. I'm about done with this reading. 10. Destiny. This is destined to happen. Look at this. Triumph and success. This was destined to happen. I don't care how you cut the deck. I don't care how you cut the deck. That's 52 cards in the deck. And I know y'all like, Ashley, what does that mean? What that mean is, it don't matter what path you got to take. It don't matter what path you're going to take. It don't matter if you take the long road, the short road. You can't take no shortcut. You got to choose a road. Whichever road you take, my baby, it's destined. The way this world is set up, there's going to be elevations regardless. I'm going to clarify these and then I'm going to get on up out of here. I'm told not to clarify. So this is where we at, y'all. This is where we at. I mean, it's beautiful to me. Sound like a beautiful, and it's not even, and it's like there's still gonna be a work. There's still got to be work to put in. But as long as I know that if I'm on the right path and I'm doing the best that I can to connect with others in my journey, then I know that I don't have much to worry about. As long as I'm doing my part. That's all that matters at the end of the day. And I feel like it's beautiful and very comforting to know that as a divine beings, we all can, get a part of this journey and connect with one another in a higher level, because that is what's destined to happen. Use your spiritual wisdom and your spiritual discernment in order to guide you through these trials, these trials, struggling times. You are embarking on a material harvest and blessings. Some of you guys are going to have new businesses. Some of you guys are going to have new families. Some of you guys are going to have combined families. Some of you guys are going to have blissfulness and happiness and connections, because these connections are meant to be a blueprint for others who are still in darkness, i.e. the karmics. God is allowing your spiritual high counterparts to come together to be example setters for the karmics that have yet to do the work. And you're gonna have to do the work. I don't care if you die before it's your time. You still got to come back here and do this work. It don't matter what it doesn't matter where you go in the universe. It does not matter. It does not matter what planet you land on. Karmic is karma, and karma got to get paid. There has to be an equal balance within the galaxy. And regardless of the fact, whether you do it on Earth, whether you do it somewhere else, you're going to bring your little silly ass back here, and you're going to repeat your lesson, karmics. So, this was a really in-depth reading. And if you resonated with it, like it, share it, talk about it, and please leave a comment. I love comments, good or bad. Give me your insight or your intake of what you got from the reading, and show it to other people and get their insight of what they got from the reading. And I wish y'all love, light, and balance, and the best. And till next time, my beautiful spiritual beings. Deuces.